and welcome back to Chris and Whitney
Whitney and Chris
cooking show, where we show young folks how the professionals cook so they can cook, well, how a professional cooks, so they can cook at home. And wouldn't you say this could be stuff from the age of 3rd grade up?
I would agree.
And that's just because we'll be using sharp knives.
Yes.
And parents, make sure that you teach your kids maybe how to use a knife. And kids, don't use a knife without talking to your parents first. It hurts when you get cut by these things. Be real careful. But we teach simple 10-minute dinners. And today, Whitney's going to go over the ingredients, but I only spent $23, and this could probably feed, what, 6 to 8 people?
8 people easily. We have 2 of these already in the oven, and then we have this one that we're going to fill up. So that's a lot of food.
It's pretty cheap, like $3 a person.
Sure.
We're going to eat for $3 a person this healthy.
Not much.
All right. Tell them what the ingredients are, Whitney.
Okay, so for this sheet pan meal, you will need 1 sweet potato, 1 yellow squash, 1 zucchini.
Or as I bought about 3 or 4 of each, depending upon how many people, right?
Yes, this will make 1 whole pan. This is what I do when I cook this at home is 1 of each of these. You'll need 1 onion. Chris got purple onion. I use yellow onion. It has a little bit milder flavor. And then he also got some chicken sausage here from Walmart. I usually get just the turkey smoked sausage for about $4. You have the whole rope, I guess is what it's called, like, and you chop it up. Then we have some olive oil, and then Chris bought some sriracha sea salt. I usually just use salt and pepper, but he wanted to mix things up a little bit.
It's got to have that bam factor to it. Bam!
Okay. So also I do want to note we have cut off of these already, so they do look a little bit different in the store. So first off, safety. Chris did say we are using knives. When you have a cutting board, it is a good idea to wet a hand towel and lay it down on your surface flat, and then lay your cutting board on that damp towel because it keeps it from sliding around. We're used to chopping things up, so we did not do that here, but that's a good idea, if you are chopping up anything in the kitchen, to put a damp towel underneath your cutting board. Okay, the next thing, first of all, make sure you wash your hands.
And I wash my hands. I even washed all the vegetables. Wash the vegetables also. Think about, in the store, all the people that come by and pick it up and set it down and don't want it.
Or just...
I know you're not.
I had to tell Christopher here that we needed to wash these peppers and tomatoes. He said they're pre-washed.
Put it in a bag, though. People handle all the produce in the store.
Yes.
Wash it.
Yes.
Although the germ's probably going to make it killed in the oven or something.
Maybe, but still, it's
You
still
better
gross.
watch. They don't make vegetable wash and fruit wash for nothing, right?
Right. But you can use just tepid water,
What kind
rinse
of
it
water?
off. Tepid. So,
Yes,
okay,
tepid.
so
Tap water too, but you can.
tepid water just means it's the temperature.
Yes,
You think that
tepid.
I was talking about like distilled water or something?
I don't know what you meant.
Oh my gosh.
it's
We have a
tepid.
pro over here who doesn't know what the word means.
You can
So,
use tap water in addition to tepid.
tepid tap water. How about that?
Tepid
That's what I
tap
meant.
water.
Tepid
Say
tap
that
water.
real quick 3 times. Tepid tap 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 tap.
You
Say
can.
it.
Okay, we're moving on.
Tepid
So
tap
we
water.
do have some that we've already chopped up here, but we are going to chop up some for you just so that you can see. One thing that you need to do first, another safety tip, is cut it in half so that you have 2 halves and you have a flat surface for both sides that you can lay down on your cutting board, and it will keep it from rocking back and forth, and you're less likely to cut yourself, okay? So you want to slice those into about
Maybe 1/8 inch to
1/4
3/16.
to an 1/8.
And the thinner you slice it, the faster it's going to cook. But it's
There you
also
go.
the
About
more
that thick.
likely it could actually stick to the. Too thin, it could stick to the pan more.
You want to either put aluminum foil, you can use parchment paper. We've used parchment paper for several things. Or spray your pan so that it is less likely to stick, okay? Onions are a little trickier, so be careful when you are cutting your onion.
And on sweet potatoes, they're a little tougher to cut. So just make sure you're cutting those real thin because they're going to take a lot longer than the vegetables to cook. So cut them a little bit thinner. It's like paper, isn't it? Yeah, that's a perfect cut. See how symmetrical that is?
I wouldn't say perfect, but
no,
sure.
I would say perfect.
You would.
Look at this piece.
You would say perfect.
That's so thin it only has one side. I can see the cameraman right through that, actually.
Says the professional.
That's the... And if you don't like the peel, or the kids don't like the peel, or your parent, whoever's cooking, maybe the kid cooking, you can always peel all these. We just don't take the time to peel. And the peel has more vitamins and stuff.
You can, but I've found as I have younger children at home that even the peeling on the sweet potato, you can't really taste it. You get used to those sort of things. So it's really a good idea to not peel these things if you can get past that, just because they hold a lot of nutrients.
Now the chicken sausage that I buy, it's pre-cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So unlike last week when we had to cook it, this week it's more or less heating stuff up. And what's going on in this bowl? It's called a marriage.
Let's move it over here.
This is a marriage ceremony going on right here. All these flavors are going to be mingling and getting married in this bowl. Wouldn't you say this is just a marriage ceremony going on? And then you
I think that's a great way to put it.
This is perfect. Then you're going to Mississippi, the olive oil. Some amateurs like Whitney must measure, but when you get to, I can just close my eyes, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and I'm done. It's just
so as Chris says, he's a pro. However, if you want to do about 2 tablespoons in this recipe, sometimes, some people like to measure because then they know it's going to have the right texture, the right flavor, and it's not going to be too oily. You don't want too much oil because it will make it greasy. So about 2 tablespoons is good for this. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but it goes a long way.
And then you get the marrying process.
Yes. Mix all of that up. He did put a little bit of this sriracha salt in there. I like just salt and pepper. You salt and pepper it to your taste.
Look at this, Whitney.
I know. Beautiful.
Spread it out real thin, or thin as the pan will allow you. And having a big pan is better because you can spread it out. If it's stacked up, stuff on the bottom's not going to get cooked.
Right.
And then stuff on top might get burnt, stuff on bottom's not getting cooked. So what we want to do is spread this out, pretty thin.
Also, I've seen where, as we were getting started earlier, Chris tried to put all the sweet potatoes together, all the squash together. You're not going to get the best flavor that way. You want to make the marriage and mix it all up.
You didn't have to tell on that, Nobody saw that.
Nobody saw that, but as you like to...
That was pre-recording.
Yes, as you like to tell on me,
I was
and the things that I do wrong.
Doing that to test. See, sometimes when you're a pro and you run the show, then you do stuff on purpose and error to see if the amateur folks that come in will recognize it. If she wouldn't have recognized that, we'd have had to fix it. I'd have to say, no, look, Whitney, you don't ever do this. And I was trying to show you what not to do.
And if you hadn't called me yesterday to ask what kind of sausage to get, then we also wouldn't be able to cook this. So.
Well, I just called because I was trying to give you preference.
Sure.
I see how nice I try to be.
Sure.
I don't try to be like Chef Ramsay or any of them. I try to be a nice chef.
Sure.
Anyway, back to the meal. Before I was so rudely interrupted by my colleague here. Anyway, do you like my accent? All right,
back to the meal. You've spread it out as thin as you can, because again, you want to make sure that they all get cooked. And they are going to be stacked on top of each other. I don't know if you can see that from there, but you do have a lot of coverage on there, but they will help steam each other. So.
And we do want to mention again the color. The more colorful your meal, the healthier it is. I mean,
Absolutely.
Think about getting some fried chicken strips and some
fries
and
it's all bland.
It's just bland, it's brown, it's just, there's no color to it. So when you have vegetables or fruits or whatever, you get all that color. So the more colorful, the better. And does it get much healthier than this?
I don't think
I know
so.
last week we had a salad, but I think this is even better.
Yes, I think this has even more vitamins and nutrients in
Probably
it.
so. Okay, so this is ready to go into the oven, but with the magic of television and the fact that we came in earlier and put some in the oven.
Also, I do want to note that we have the oven on 475. Typically, you can do 475 for about 20 minutes, or you can do about 425 for 30 minutes, depending on how much time you have. So just wanted to let you guys know that. This has been in the oven at 475 for about 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to see our
what it looks like.
And then taste test it.
All
All
right.
right, see what we got. And I'm glad I found it up. Oh, God, it's hot. Always be careful opening the oven up. I just got a steam facial.
So the squash and zucchini have a lot of water in them as vegetables. So they are producing a lot of steam. And so when you open the oven, be careful that you don't burn yourself.
Or, see, when you have skin like mine, it's from facials. Just take a smell that.
It does. It smells really, really good.
Oh, look here. What they say? Voila. And we're going to go ahead and put this one in the oven for 475 for how long, Whitney?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. All right. It looks very good. Looks very hot. I'm going to get a plate. We're going to put some on it, and we got to try it out.
Okay.
All right. So it is taste testing time, our favorite part of the show. So we're going to scoop a little bit of everything here onto a plate. And we have invited
Lucas,
one of our camera folks. From whose class do you represent?
Coach Bean, AV Production.
All right, just making sure we give him a shout out every time.
Yes, we appreciate him allowing these students to come down and film us, do this cooking show, and then they go back and work really hard on editing. So we appreciate you, Coach Bean, for allowing your AV students to come down and do that.
Let's see what they think.
Got all the ingredients.
He's got every ingredient
Looks
in there.
pretty hot.
This is scary.
We might have lost one ingredient, but
That's really good, though.
Good.
all right.
Glad
So,
you liked it.
again, we have excelled in our cooking abilities. Thank you for joining us again on Chris and Whitney
Whitney and Chris.
in the kitchen. What's cooking? See you next time.